Hi everyone, it's Jessica Zeliniak with J to Z Realty, talking about real estate tips and trends. And today let's talk about paint, gray, and the color of the year for 2024. I love paint because it's a really relatively inexpensive way that you can totally make over your home, give it a completely different vibe. Grays have been trending for probably about a decade. Some people are starting to say that grays are going away, beiges and greens are coming back in. I personally am not totally over grays, but I am ready to give my house a little bit of a facelift. So I want to talk to you guys about some ways to inexpensively make some changes if you're just not in love with your home decor anymore. I think it's kind of interesting that many designers are saying grays are out because Sherwin-Williams color of the year this year is still a gray, but it's really a blue-based gray or kind of silvery, and the color is called Upward. It has great use in the kitchen, in living rooms, and bedrooms, really calming, definitely giving me some like beach vibes. And then it pairs really well with beiges, which are making a strong comeback. If you are ready to tackle paint in your house, I pulled some really great colors. These are all from Sherwin-Williams. The lower section with the neutrals is still very great if you're considering selling your home. Neutral just allows buyers to see themselves in the space. But if you're wanting to go with something a little more bold, a little more color, greens and blues are definitely trending. Very calming effect. They look great in pops of color, or you can paint entire walls. If you're not quite ready to take on the commitment of painting your entire house though, I want to give you some other suggestions of how you can update your paint scheme, your decor, by going from the least expensive options to things that could potentially be more expensive. One of the least and really inexpensive things you could potentially do is just change your lighting. Not necessarily just in lighting fixtures, which lighting fixtures can give a space a really great facelift, but just by changing your light bulbs. I love this example of how just using warm light, cool light, or daylight gives such a different feel to the color of your paint, even though it's all the same color. By using really warm lighting, you can warm up your space. By having plenty of lighting too, having some overhead light, having some lamps, it makes such a huge difference in a room. And the biggest difference I find it makes is when we take photos and we're getting ready to sell. Having great light is huge. I also am kind of picky about this, but in one bedroom, I usually like to stick to one type of light bulb, which I feel like is almost impossible because there's a million different types of light bulbs. But if you're going to have warm lighting, I suggest sticking to all warm lighting across all the lamps, across all the fixtures in one room. You can change it room by room if you want to, but it just looks strange when we have one really bright white light bulb and then a warm light bulb in a picture. Another really inexpensive option to update your decor is by adding some plants, and they can be fake plants, they can be real plants. This is something that I personally am doing to my home. I do not have a green thumb, and so fake plants have been my friend, but I have started picking up a few real small plants for my bathroom areas where they tend to do really, really well. But it is such an easy way to update your space. Pretty minimal costs, although I guess some fake plants can get a little pricey. I love how just bringing in those few little pops of a bright green really freshens up the space, makes it have that tie to nature that just gives it that calming effect too. Don't think you have to go overboard and have 50 plants in your room, but just maybe 2 or 3 very strategically placed can make a really big difference. Tying in with that nature theme this year is bringing in wood elements, and kind of warmer woods are making a comeback. Designers are saying that gray laminate floors are out, and bringing back in more natural type of woods are certainly what they're suggesting at this point. I really like the look of the warmer woods on the cooler grays, and I think just a few little elements can make a huge update to a room too, such as adding a few chairs with some wood trim, adding that wood shelf, adding maybe just a nightstand or another kind of warmer chair into a bedroom. I think it just makes a huge difference. You don't have to overhaul everything you own, but just updating a few pieces. If you want something a little bit more bold and you're feeling brave, bringing in color is also a really nice technique to change things up. One of the really great things about gray is that it's a chameleon and it lends itself to work really well with other colors and can look different based on what it's paired next to. So grays do have a base shade. Sometimes they're yellow, sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're more purple, sometimes they're more green. So you may have to pay attention to what undertones are in your gray, but gray does pair so nicely with pops of color. Some of my favorite combinations are kind of in the jewel tone family. I love grays and blues together. Our son's room is nautical, and so it's navy and gray, and it looks, I think, so great together. I'm loving this green, again, very natural, very popular this year. Surprisingly, I am loving this canary yellow, this deep yellow. I think it just looks very classy with grays. I like it with the light gray, I like it with the dark gray. Purple is a solid standby. It looks very nice with gray too. Our daughter's room has blush and it looks very nice with gray. So I love that you have a lot of options and a nice way to just tie in a little something extra. Maybe just update some of your accessories, couch pillows, sheets, some decor pieces on shelves to really tie those colors in without adding a lot to your budget. If you're not feeling ready for a lot of color, I totally get it too, but a way you can change up your space and elevate your space is by adding texture in your rooms. Layering patterns or actually using different types of fabric is such an easy way to bring in some texture and really elevate your spaces. Another element I love for doing some updates is metal. And it doesn't have to be as industrial or cold as it maybe seems on the surface, but using some metal decor pieces, using metal framing on your furniture, venturing into different metals like black or champagne can all give a really nice update to some of the pieces you might already have in your home. I love the simple timelessness of these metal bed frames. I am definitely a metal bed frame person. And I really like the lines on these metal coffee tables. Not horribly expensive things, but maybe just a little facelift if you are willing to spend some money on updating furniture. Like I said, metal decor too. We have a lot of metal decor. I'm very non-committal when it comes to art. And so it's stuff that's usually fairly inexpensive and not very bold. It's very forgiving as far as style and taste. If you're thinking about potentially selling this year and you want to talk through some updates you could make to your home to just make it a little bit more appealing to today's market, I would love to chat. Show me some of the spaces that you love in your home. What's working? What's not working? Which trends are you loving? What trends are you not loving? Talk to me. Tell me what you think. Have a good day.